Welcome to KryptoGeneX.
All right. I cannot forget to record. So let me get that started again. Welcome, everybody. This is a special call Thursday night with KryptoGeneX. With a couple of our co-founders are on the line to be able to share with you guys some very interesting information and knowledge that you're going to be able to leave this call with, learning something new. We have a wealth of talent within the field, a wealth of talent within the ownership that's eager to share. We want you guys to be able to be prepared for the pre-launch. Every day that passes by, we're getting closer and closer. And the whole purpose of KryptoGeneX is the fact that we solve not one, but three major problems for most people. So for those of you who say, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to recruit, I don't know how to share, you can have a massive organization without ever speaking the name of the company. Here's why. KryptoGeneX solves the number one problem in the crypto space. And it's not how do I make money, because you can buy a Bitcoin and sit on it and you'll make some money. The point is education. When you have more than 50% of the population is exposed to Bitcoin, only 5% own some Bitcoin, and only 0.5% even understand what it is. So education is sorely needed in this space. The second issue is, how can I make some money with this? KryptoGeneX is going to teach you not only how to know what's going on, but you're going to earn while you learn by getting residual income through the training you're going to get and the use of our product with our trading bot. And then finally is to be able to know that you can go to sleep at night, wake up tomorrow morning knowing that the company and your money is still there with our team of lawyers that's been hired to make sure that we remain compliant ongoing in the United States and different states. As time goes by, laws change. So we need to make sure we're always compliant and up to date so we can operate smoothly and effectively. So without no further ado, I want to bring up the gentleman that is going to be giving you some special training tonight. You might want to take some notes. You will leave here learning something new. This gentleman has a lot of experience in the network marketing space, the direct selling space, the team building space, has made a lot of money doing so, huge organizations, one of the co-founders of KryptoGeneX, Mr. Will Fjetland. So, Will, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So, Will, the floor is all yours.
Loud and clear. Hey, Brandon, thanks. It's funny. I'm not one of these people that really like to have people talk about me, but I tell you, it's kind of fun getting on these calls and having these people say all those nice things about me. Could we just do that again for a second?
You just did the check in the mail.
Anyway, everybody, thanks for coming on the call tonight. I am Will Fjetland, and my friends call me Will Fjetland, and a few people call me Will Fjetland or Fjetland, and I think they do it on purpose. Hopefully, everybody's had an opportunity to listen to the Meet the Founders call, and I believe that that's it should be on our website, really, because it was the group of us. We all got together and we got to talk, tell our story, how we came together. And this is really a cobweb of events in a real gratuitous time. Everybody believes things happen for a reason. And if you look at the timing in this crypto space, last year, I started out with one Bitcoin. I called my dear friend Kathy and I said, hey, we're in the Bitcoin business. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I go, yeah, we just joined the company. We're partners. We're gonna set this world on fire. And she was like, okay. And we did some stuff, and we ended up doing very, very well with that. But the thing about this is, and this is where I want to go with my call tonight, Kathy and I are two people that seriously and devotedly focus on helping our teams. And in doing so, we got an incredible education on what to do and what not to do. There's so many pitfalls in this crypto space, simple things like a password. I was helping a guy one day that he called me up and he said, hey, I just lost 14 Bitcoin out of my wallet. And I'm like, well, how'd you do that? He goes, I don't know. It's like somebody just got in it and took all my stuff. And I go, well, let me ask you something. He goes, what? And I go, do you mind telling me what your password is? And he goes, no, not at all. It was Jesus Saves. And I said, well, that's a great password, but did you bother to, put a @ symbol or, did you, put a number in there? And he goes, no, that's just what it is. And I'm like, okay. Pretty religious guy. Is that on your Facebook page? He goes, oh yeah, I'm a pretty good religious guy. Long story short, he didn't understand the importance of security, and it made it very simple for somebody to go and get his username and basically hack his account and take his Bitcoin. So Kathy and I learned a great deal from that. We learned a tremendous amount of how things happen. And personally, I had my cell phone number ported out from underneath me from T-Mobile. I called T-Mobile and they said, hey, I know this guy and his name's Joby, and he's pretty big in the Bitcoin space, and he lost a lot of money because his phone number got hacked. And then I knew another guy that he got his hacked, and I knew another guy that's on the call tonight, my buddy Albert, and his phone number got hacked. And, you know, basically I called them up and nope, my phone number got hacked too. So the reason that this happens in these cell phone industries, and this is important for everybody to learn, and this is why I'm on the call tonight. You need to call your carriers, take notes. You need to call your carriers, and you need to get a PIN number attached to your accounts. Every carrier will do it. You also need to make sure that you have a SIM card lock established on your account so that your SIM card cannot be ported. Your SIM card's got your information, and you also need to make sure that you let them know that under no circumstances are you to allow your phone number to be ported out without identification, your identification being submitted to it. You put all that stuff together, and they understand that you're pretty serious, and at least it gives you the best benefit of the doubt to protect you. So I'm kind of moving around just a little bit, and what I want to do now is I got me a little outline to kind of help keep me on track because I tend to ramble. I like to talk to folks. And KryptoGeneX is what we're here for. We're going to learn about something that, like I was saying, we came together from a long period of time. Steve McCullough, myself, Kathy Keene, best friends. And, Steve McCullough and I, we've been friends for 25 years. And I met him because I owned a computer company. And this is kind of fun how things come together. Just so you guys all understand in KryptoGeneX, you're going to hear and see a whole new culture, a culture that's different than any other MLM or business or any entity you've been in. And it's because we're going to tell a story, and we want you to tell your story. And on the line here is Jeremy Keene. Jeremy Keene was installing garage doors and doing construction work and handyman stuff, and now he's one of the owners of soon to be one of the largest cryptocurrency or crypto space businesses ever. So that's a story, and we all have a story. I have numerous things that I've done in my past that have led me to be where I'm at, and that's basically how I met Stephen McCullough. You know, I took a journey from the world of construction and got out of it and wanted to be computers in 1995 when people were saying you need a computer, just like we're saying you need to buy Bitcoin. You know, just looking at you like, why do you need a computer? Well, you needed a computer so that I could sell them, so I could meet Stephen, so that we could be friends for these years and years and years. And then when Kathy and I partnered up last year to be, in business in the Bitcoin space, we involved Stephen, and Stephen got really, really mad at us because he got involved, more me than Kathy, honestly, because he found out that company took his Bitcoin. And there's a lot of companies out there that want to take your Bitcoin. And we're not one of those companies. We're a company that wants to educate you. And this is what's going to take KryptoGeneX around the world, everyone, the ability to educate. See, Stephen's always had every time I've ever talked to him about anything, it's always been about teach the world. He'd always say, we're going to teach the world, teach the world, teach the world, teach the world computers, teach the world websites. Well, guess what? Now we're going to teach the world cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is absolutely the next new world, and it's the one that we're living in. And it's fun because I go to places, I go to restaurants, nice restaurants, and I carry a Bitcoin in my pocket, and I flip it out and throw it across the counter and ask people, hey, you know what that is? No one knows what it is. Even though they're watching the news, they pick it up and it's got the big Bitcoin logo on it. They still have no idea what a Bitcoin is. It's the fun people that like to go to Vegas and gamble that have a better understanding of what Bitcoin is because it's a little bit risky, a little bit, curious. It's kind of got a little race to it. And it's fun how people engage in it. So with all that going on, I want you to understand that KryptoGeneX is an education company first. We've got some platforms and some stuff that we're going to offer some people down the road that, as the program evolves, that's going to give them an opportunity to stick their feet in the waters and just see how you can earn some more Bitcoin. But with our education platform, just simply by sharing the word of what we're doing and how our education goes, it's going to create incredible momentum for you. You realize if you just tell 3 of your friends, it's going to basically be tell 3 of your friends and what you paid to get into KryptoGeneX is free. And everybody knows 3 friends. And once you get excited and realize, holy cow, this is pretty simple, those 3 people tell 3 people, tell 3 people, tell 3 people. Pretty soon, just like happened to me last year, a little over 40,000 people joined me in a company. They didn't join me specifically, but they were definitely below me. So Kathy and I built some pretty amazing teams, and what we've learned is if you teach your teams what to do, they'll do it. So the exciting part about CryptoGeneX is this. You don't have to know anything. If you can spell CryptoGeneX and tell your friends to go to CryptoGeneX, well, then they can register. And you don't have to teach them. You know why? Because we're an education company. The thing that really is a bummer is in these other companies that we've all been in for the last 20 years, you get involved with a company, they get started, and you don't really have a clear understanding of exactly what they're doing, or you don't understand their website, or you get into a back office and it's just like, holy smokes, where do I go from here? Well, when you guys see how CryptoGeneX's site and web back offices are laid out, you're going to be, oh my goodness, you'll have videos. You'll click and there'll be a video that'll tell you what you need to do. You can watch a video. That's pretty simple. And if you can sit there and sit through a video for a minute to 3 minutes and learn something, you can replicate that. That's what makes it easy. Where we used to have to sit down with people and do a Zoom call or a Skype and do a screen share, and we'd have to move someone's mouse around for them so they could figure out how simply just to go into their profile and make changes. Those days are over. Welcome to CryptoGeneX. We're going to teach everybody for you. We're going to teach the world. And you can do this in any country. And we're going to have the language translations available for all the different countries that we have the biggest need in. So it's going to be pretty exciting. And I'm very excited, to be honest with you, because I've been working a really long time. I've been working really hard. I've been garage qualified probably 10 or 15 times with every vitamin, vacuum, water filter, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, everything you can completely imagine. And I know there's a lot of amens out there. And I still, to this day, even have protein packets from some diet company that I was using in case Armageddon happened and I needed to live on something, because the shelf life on that stuff is until Jesus comes back. So I just figured, there you go. I got some protein in case the worst case scenario happens. So CryptoGeneX, you don't have to be garage qualified. You just get on site and you get to watch some videos and you get to learn and see what we're doing. So I'm going to follow a little bit more of a curriculum here with you guys now. What I want to discuss with everybody is, as you tell your story, right, as you tell people about your CryptoGeneX, you need to use your story. You need to use your introduction. For me, it's, hi, my name is Will, and I just want to share a little bit with you about my background and why we're here. Everybody can do that, and this is what tonight is. And I know that I've got some very seasoned network marketers, some seven-figure earners and stuff on the line here, but I'm hoping that you guys will listen to me and that I'll say something that you go, holy cow, I never really thought of that. Because one of the things that I do that was just absolutely a blessing to me, that was kind of gifted down on me, was I have the understanding through some trainings that I've had to recognize people's characteristics. And I like to do it 4 different quadrants. And I have people that are action people. They just want to know, what's the deal? How do I do it? How does it excite me? What do I got to do to win? How much do I have to do to get the watch, the car, the house, the trip? There's the other people that are really nurturing. They just want to know, hey, if I get involved in this thing, can I volunteer? Can I help my family? And how do I share this with others? And, like in the skincare companies, they'd say, oh my God, this is the most amazing skincare. I'm going to buy 5 bottles for my whole family. And even though they're $100 a bottle, they still buy them for their whole family, And next thing you know, they're garage qualified with 10 cases of this stuff that the company just went out of business. They don't know what to do with. And then you've got the people that are amazing, like my friend Kathy Keene. She is structured. She is organized. She is process. She is procedure. She is duty, rank. She is on time. And these are my dot to dot people that I like to talk about. And then you've got the people that are super analytical. They want to know the facts. They want to know, okay, so you're telling me that this crypto rhythm thing is really amazing. Well, how do I know it's amazing? Who are the engineers behind it, or what's the science behind it? Have you verified the science behind the science behind the science? Well, then you get the guy like me that's pretty action-oriented, that just really wants to know what the deal is and how I crank it. And I'm trying to talk to this guy, and he says, whoa. You're going way too fast for me. I need you to slow down. And you know what? Tell you what, let's meet tomorrow when I can be more prepared for this conversation. So I've done that quite often. And that's what we're going to cover right now. We're going to cover some of these things. So understanding that I've kind of piggybacked on numerous systems. There's the Myers and Briggs, there's the color code, there's the 5 different animals. All these systems are amazing in their own right. There's the love languages. There's the how do people learn from your learning styles. So basically what I've put together is a program that I give credit to all of those at once. that has the ability to combine it so that we can do what we call the bridge. You want to bridge your prospect. You want to qualify them. You want to explain what you're doing. And then ultimately you want to what? Close them. Bridge, qualify, explain, and close. That's fundamentally the best thing. And once I read a book by a gentleman named Neil Rackham, it's called Spin Selling, S-P-I-N, Selling. Spin Selling was a book that made a big difference for me when I owned my computer company. I had about 20 sales reps that worked for me, and they were all kind of struggling. They were having a hard time figuring out how to sell these new things called home PCs and computers, right? So we read that book. And what that book does is it teaches you situation, problem, implication, and needs. Well, you figure out what their situation is. These are, for an example, we targeted a group of people to help especially grandparents. Why did the grandparents, what was their situation that they needed a computer? Well, their grandkids were at college. What was the problem? The problem was that the grandkids wanted to send the grandparents email. Grandparents didn't know what email was. It was some newfangled thing that their grandkids are talking about. Implications. If they didn't understand or have a computer, they weren't able to get this. So what did they need? A computer. Well, guess what? My friend Steve McCullough comes in that period of time, and he's going to teach the world all about websites. People don't know what websites are. Well, there's a website now that's going to teach you everything you need to know about your computer, and they translate it into 104 different languages. So naturally, Stephen and I made friends right there. But that's what SPIN stands for, situation, problem, implication, and need, and that's how you solve all of that. So when you take this, and as you're doing your bridge with your people or your friends, you want to have just a casual conversation. You know, for example, hey, Brandon, how you doing today? You know, this is just, you want to start it off. He goes, oh, man, I'm having a great day. Awesome. So here's the deal, Brandon. And I do this with people that I've sort of met or kind of never met. And for an example, if I had never met Brandon before, Brandon, you want to come on the line for a second? And if you're not here, Mike or Jeremy, you want to pop up? I want to use one of you guys as kind of a little role play so that we can dig in deep on them.
Yeah, I'm still here, Will.
Good. So, Brandon, here's what we're going to do. We're going to role play, and I'm going to teach everybody how I do a bridge real quick. This is like a 2-minute quick drill, and there's a lot of different drills out there, and I'm by no means, I'm not the catch-all, but I want to help you. If you don't have this skill set at all, or if it's just something that you can move with, I'd like you to do it. So, Brandon, here's an example. Nobody knows you on the call, for example. They've never met you. So we're sitting across from each other at a table, and I'm saying, Brandon, before I get started, I'd like to know just a little bit about yourself. Would you mind just telling me, what is it that you like to do? What's your favorite thing in the world to do? And I'm not talking about work or something specific, but if you could do anything in the world all day long, what would you do?
Well, have fun, play with my kids, and play basketball, work out, eat, and I'm good to go.
Exactly. So what kind of activities do you like to do, Brandon?
Well, one activity I love to do is listen to music in my quiet time. It helps me to clear my mind, clear my head, and focus on what I want to happen in the future. I love my solitude. My business has me engaging with people all day, every day. So whenever I can have some quiet time to myself, I cherish that.
So I'm taking him down a road, guys. So, Brandon, what is this? My next question is real important. So what is your job, and why do you like it so much?
Well, my job entails me helping a lot of people to better their lives and develop a home-based business so that they can have financial freedom like I do. So that's what I love to do.
So you're kind of an entrepreneur then. You like the chase and the challenge of building your own company and the rewards that go with that and the risks?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me help you guys right now. See, I already know how to talk to Brandon because I've gone through my system, which is really cool for me, but it's not so cool for you guys yet. Brandon's an action person, right? He wants to be an entrepreneur. He knows how to take risks, and that's something that's very motivating to him. So if I was not conversation anymore, but I just want to go from here and go, Brandon, are you interested in an opportunity that will allow you the freedom to go out and help people?
Yeah, if I could fit it in my time, absolutely. I'm always open to hearing what's new and what's going on out there.
See, so I did two of my personalities or characteristics. I talked about an opportunity characteristic and I talked about a nurturing characteristic, right, so that he could help other people. Obviously, we know he needs to make more money. Everybody wants to make more money, but from what he had already shared with me, He likes the entrepreneurial life. And the second thing he likes to do is help people. So moving down the line a little bit, so I can create my own CryptoGeneX, right, pitch is what I'm talking about, because you want to build 4 different pitches in your mind. You got to build a pitch for the guy that's like Fjetland. I'm an action guy. I drive a red car. I have a gold Rolex. I'm on the 29th floor downtown overlooking all the cars and houses. There are some people on this call that are saying that is too flashy for me. No, thank you. I'd rather live in a wonderful house on an island with like 7 or 8 rooms where all my family can come to me. It's quiet. It's peaceful. I can pay that baby off. And yeah, that's okay. That's different characteristics. So this is what we're trying to teach you. I want to try and teach you guys to understand the different characteristics of people. So the action guys, they want to know something. The action guy is going to look at Brandon's going to see me and he's going to like, dude, that's a nice car. I have a red Mercedes. Not everybody drives a red Mercedes. Some people on here, they don't want a fancy car. Even if they could afford it, they're going to drive a Prius because it's more economical and it's good to the environment. And it doesn't make sense for them to spend a lot of money on a fancy race car, right? So Brandon, you want to be an entrepreneur and you like to help people. So let me ask you this. What kind of things have you done in the past that you would do different? What have you done that you had to do, but you would do different?
Not study to go to law school.
So, see, that's a pretty cool question. I mean, so you studied the law school, and what that's telling me is that, let me ask you this. Do you kind of struggle with solid structure, constant rules and predicaments and systems in place that you just have to follow along with those? Do you find that to be a little bit frustrating and challenging?
Yeah, unless I create it myself. But other than that, I
Okay.
like to be free-feeling. I don't like anybody having any control over me. I like my own time. Whenever I feel like doing something is when I do it. But a lot of people think that I am very structured and follow a system, but only if I create it.
So let me ask you this next question, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find out, is he the action guy? Is he the nurture guy? Is he the dot-to-dot guy? Or is he the super hyper-analytical guy? Well, I can tell you this next question, he's going to be a lot different. How do you feel about analytics? How do you feel about sitting down and reading white papers, getting scientific data sheets, and compiling all that information? I mean, I know you're going to do a degree of it, right? Because you're educating people and you know that that's what you do because you create your system. But if you just had to sit down and just read a real technical book that talked about like the blockchain that's about 700 pages, how long would it take for you to read that book? All year?
A year? That bores me to death.
Okay, folks. So Brandon and I, we just had a real casual conversation across the table with each other. We're drinking iced teas, and I just learned all this information about him. He's an entrepreneur at spirit. He wants to help people. He likes to create his own structure, and the last thing he wants to do is have anything to do with reading detailed specs and sheets and facts and studying all the charts and graphs and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm going to present a presentation to him that's going to be an action one where he can share information, and then there's a process followed with data. So here's my pitch. Hey, Brandon, I really appreciate you sharing that information with me. So here's what I want to let you know about CryptoGeneX. This is an amazing company with a global opportunity. You get to reach people from around the world in all walks of life with an education system that's being built by professionals that you don't have to master whatsoever, and all the technical data that goes along with it, it's going to come in video form for the people that really like that, and they can sit there and watch that. So let me ask you, do you feel like stepping into the realm of CryptoGeneX now? Is that something that you can do? That
Absolutely.
was the pitch for Brandon. That was his specific pitch, because that's how his system works, right? So we have somebody else on the line that I want to do this again with. Mike Boggs, are you on the line?
I am here, Will.
Right on. Brandon, thank you for helping with that. And Mike, leave your microphone open. Everybody, this is Mike Boggs. He's one of the owners as well of CryptoGeneX. But he is going to give you his pitch. I'm going to give you we're going to do this whole same thing all over again with Brandon, because I already know how Mike is wired. And this is going to be an amazing way for you guys to see a totally different avenue of how you say the same thing to somebody that's completely different. So, hi, Mike.
Hey, Will.
You ready? All right.
I'm ready.
So here's the deal. Mike, what is it that you like to do? In your spare time, what are the things that are your hobbies and excitements that you can do given the freedom to do it? What is it you like to do?
I absolutely love to spend time with my family on vacations, taking them to places that they haven't been for. I have 3 kids. Love being with my kids and my family and having them enjoy the freedom and being with them as the father and making sure that they're having a good time. So I enjoy being with my family, both extended family as well, making sure everyone's having a good time and giving them the resources to have those experiences as they grow through life.
That's amazing. What do you do for vocation? What kind of things are your jobs? What interests you?
Well, I, for the longest time, I've been educated in computer programming. Love doing that. Even as a hobby, I love programming. I love working with computer hardware and designing, quantum servers and all this other stuff. So that's really what I like to do in my spare time. That's my hobby. I enjoy doing that and building.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, folks, I already know how I'm going to throw a presentation at Mike, and this is kind of really cool. That once we learn what I can teach us, you guys could have a KryptoGeneX presentation that quickly to Mike. But I'm going to get you guys some more data. Some of you are going, no, that's baloney. How could you possibly send him a presentation that he would be interested in? But I can. So, Mike, you love to spend time with your family, and I bet you volunteer for stuff too, right? T-ball or any of the things. Exactly.
That I do.
I brought that up. Exactly. So because of what you said led me to go down the spin selling is always about asking the next question, knowing that you want it to take you to a specific answer. So I heard you talking about so much. See, people that are nurturing people spend a lot of time talking about how they can help others or how much others mean to them. That's a primary nurturing individual. That's what Mike's number one piece is. He's a nurturing individual, followed with the thing that he likes to do vocationally and in his spare time, software development. Okay, so let me ask, here's my next question. This is going to be very specific, and I already have the answer in my head, and I want to share it with you. So, Mike, you probably don't have a problem with structure and rules and creating, for example, if you create some software code, you probably don't have any problem creating the documentation that goes along with it, explain all of the answers and the sequences of the things that you did, correct?
That's correct. I actually thrive on that.
Exactly. You probably like puzzles and doodles and those kinds of things, correct?
I do a lot of sketching on a whiteboard, that's for sure.
So, and then the last piece of that is, and I would imagine that you like technical data. You like to sit down and you like to read technical data so that you can get the facts that you need so that you can create the software that you need, right?
Yeah, I've been called a geek many times, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand that. So with all of those things being said, Mike, when someone comes up to you and presents to you the next best thing, the coolest opportunity, you don't just jump into it and say, "Oh man, I'm like Will did. He heard the comp plan's amazing. You can get 25 people in on your left leg and 25 on your right, and all of a sudden you are in a Rolex and Will's in." You're not that guy, are you? You have to sit back and you have to analyze all the data, make a decision, and you're going to be the guy that comes back tomorrow and says, "Oh, now I'm interested." Correct?
Yeah, I'd have a list of specific questions after they give me something to read. Yes.
So here's how you send a pitch to Mike. This is Mike's pitch because Mike, according to my colors, the system that I utilize is he's a nurturer, followed with he's a structured person. So I have colors, yellow, blue, red, greens. I've copied some of these other systems, all these companies, and I tried to find the easiest way to mix them. So he's a yellow, he's a nurturer. He's a blue, he's a dot to dot. And then he's a green because he likes the analytical things and the long data, followed up with actually the reds in the backside. You would think Mike's a go-getter that's just going to run out there and charge. But because of the way his structure is set up, Mike has to have all this information before he feels confident that he can go out there and lead the charge because he's a data person. He requires data and he requires structure before he can do it because the first thing he has is the people that he loves and cares about, so he doesn't want to harm them or his friends. Sound about right, Mike?
That is 100% correct.
So this is how this works. Hey, Mike, there's a company out there that I'm a part of. It's called KryptoGeneX. This is the most amazing company because you know what it does? It reaches around the world and it teaches everyone that has an interest in crypto everything they need to know. And it does it with an amazing video system. There's videos and there's downloadable materials. You don't have to master any of this stuff. You don't have to you have any version of programming. The back office is very simple. It's clean. It's neat. It's light. It's tight. It's organized. It's very easy for you to go in and look at it, and it's intuitive, right? The buttons make sense. They're all in order. It's a great sequence of events. So you just go back in there, top to bottom, left to right, totally makes sense, right? And the technical data that you're going to require is going to come in from all the videos. You can follow yourself from the 101 course to the middle course to the advanced course, and by the time you're done, you'll be a crypto expert in about 72 minutes. So, Mike, does that sound like something that you want to be involved in and you could share with your friends?
Absolutely. Please send me some more information.
Exactly, right? He's not ready to sign now. Even though I go in for the close, he's still like, hey, send me some information. Send me that web link. Let me go take a look at what you've got. So that's how this is kind of how my system plays out. And it's a shared system. There's so much data that goes along with how we do this. But what I'm trying to drive the point home is when you're brand new at KryptoGeneX, and there's a lot of us that are, right? You're out there and you're trying to just scratch at the surface and tell your friends about your excitement. You're going to tell it in numerous ways. The wills in the system are going to come out and go, oh my God, dude, this company's taking the world by storm. This thing's going to kill it. It's got a binary that's out of control. And we're just going to absolutely we're going to rule. We're going to make so much money. This is going to be the most amazing thing we've ever done. We're going to help people and we're going to train people. We're going to, that's the red approach. That's the action person. And the people that are on this call that are the analytical people that want all the data and the facts first are going, oh my God, get that guy off the stage. Not another one of those kinds of presentations. Because the people that are like me, until they're educated, what we do is we talk and talk and talk. And we talk over the people that are sitting in front of us and we tell them what our agenda is. Oh yeah, I go to the gym and I work out and I'm with this men's group and we go do all these things and we volunteer for all these other things and we've got this really thing and it's me and me and me and us and our group and how we're all going to conquer and how we're going to just lead our way to the top and everybody's going to see this amazing group of guys and wish that they were. Everybody else, even the nurturing people that really love everybody, are like, okay, you've really been talking about yourself for a long time and you haven't even given me the opportunity to say anything. So the feedback is already coming to me from the field for the numerous leaders that we have that are the reds, that are like me, that are the super crazy action people that are so motivated about the newness of our business. You're talking too much. You need to give a couple of little bites of data. KryptoGeneX is an amazing company. It's got 5 leaders, legal team. They're compliant. Wow, they're going to continue to be compliant because they've got a gentleman on board that's helping with the compliance. That's what he's done. He's very well known, and I don't even have to name drop. I can just say that we have these things, and then you need to stop for a second because the people that are the blues, that are the structure, process, sequence, order, they're going to ask you a question because they're sitting in front of you with a notepad taking notes because that's what they do. They take notes. This is how you find them when you're standing on stage and you want to know who in the audience are the people that take notes. They're the blues. They have a tablet and a paper. They always do. They're easy to pick out. The reds, they come in and they're high-fiving everybody and they're having a good time and they're loud and they're flashing their stuff and they got their phones out and they're showing pictures. And the yellows are the ones that are going in and helping other people sit. They're the ones that go over and they get the water and they bring them to them. And then the greens are the ones that typically sit in the back. They just sit on the edges and they sit in the back. They don't want to shake hands. They don't want you to bring them water because that's got your germs on it. And they definitely don't want the dude that's high-fiving people to come up and high-fiving. So these are the characteristics of these different styles of people. And this is what I want to share with you. And we're going to do this over and over and over so that we can all get comfortable in our own skin having conversations with people so that what we do, like the red, we don't come into a room and just blow everybody out of the room with this one version of a presentation. The yellows that are out there, the nurturing people, they want you to give them an opportunity to feel genuine. They want you to be genuine. And those people that are very soft-hearted and volunteer-minded, If a guy comes in and throws a presentation at him and doesn't even give him a chance to ask a question or feel heard, well, then they're like, that guy's just interested in my money. He just wants me to sign up for another one of these stupid things. And it sounds like a cool program, but he wouldn't even give me a chance to talk. He didn't even listen to me. So that's what happens to that person. We already talked about the green people, right? The hyper analytical people. They don't even want to listen to the super overzealous red people, because all we talk about opportunity and bonuses and prizes and how much money we can make, when in reality, those people want the meat and the potatoes. So the people that we've left out in the conversation so far that I believe matter the most in every organization are our blues, are the nurture, or my dot to dots, my Kathy Keens in the group. See, a blue by nature, the dot to dots, they take in the information. Then what's their second feature? Are they a dot to dot nurture? Or are they a dot to dot go getter? Well, in Kathy Keens' position, she's a dot to dot, but she's pretty yellowy. She's pretty nurturing. She cares about her people. But I tell you what, you put that girl on fire and she's all red. Once she understands the process that she can run with, boom, she's more aggressive than the normal high five, slap everybody in the front of a room, because she delivers it in a technique, right, that's fundamental. Reds, we just kind of fly around, seat of our pants, and we don't really have a lot of structure and order. But structure and order is what runs a good meeting. That's why you have people that stand up on stage and they bring everybody up. They introduce everybody. They talk about how you're supposed to be in the meeting and, housekeeping and all that other stuff. So I want to make sure that the people that are out there, so when you're reaching out to people, make sure you give an opportunity to the person that you're presenting KryptoGeneX to a chance to talk. Give them an opportunity to ask you a question. And just ask them a question. Do you have a question? Do you understand? And the next piece of this, too, is that you have to understand some of the characteristics that these people share so that you make sure you don't ruin your opportunity before you get there. For example, if you're going to have a meeting with someone that tends to be like Kathy, a blue dot to dot, the meeting's at 10 a.m. If you're not there at 9:45, typically they'll assume that you don't care enough about your meeting to show up a little bit early for a 10 o'clock meeting, and they'll start packing their stuff. I've literally had that happen to me. At 5 to 10, I come wheeling in my red car, screeching to a halt, get into the Starbucks, and these people are packing up, and they're heading for the door. I'm like, hey, I'm here, what's up? And they're like, yeah, if you can't be here on time, I got 4 minutes, I'm on time. We talking about I'm on time. And they're like, no, we got to go. And I'm like, okay, not every case. But in some instances, that's definitely the way it is. So in speaking to people that you can start to pick up by their questions, this is the next piece that's very important. As you're presenting KryptoGeneX, present a little bits and pieces of information. Allow them to ask you a question. So here's a good example. I present my information to my fogs, and Mike might say, so what is the order of things I need to do? What are the sequence? Or how does the website work? What, how, where? Those are what's. Anytime you get a what it does, how does it, where does it, he's a dot to dot. He wants to know where to go for this information. Me, on the other hand, on the backside, I said, cool, I'm just going to log into that baby. I'm going to figure it out on my own, because you know what? I'm going to push all the buttons. And if I break something, I'm just going to hit the customer support little robot down on the corner and say, hey, I pushed all the buttons. My website's broke. Can you please fix it? Sorry, it's just kind of how I work. And when people ask me, hey, Will, can you walk me through my back office? I have a really clear understanding of how most back offices work, because I've already gone through all the buttons and pushed them, and I figured out, oh, hey, make sure you don't push the green button on the bottom right corner, because that resets everything that you've just done on your website. Oh, how do you know? Because I pushed it. Oh, yeah. So, the blues, they're going to go through the system and sequence, and they're going to go and find an appendix someplace on the site, or a site map that's going to say, whatever you do, don't push the blue button or the green button down on the bottom right corner unless you're ready to reset the entire form that you just spent an hour and a half doing. See, and then the people that are more on the nurturing side, they're going to get their friends that are the dot to dots, and they're going to say, hey, I got to go through this website. I'm not really sure what I need to do. Would you mind walking me through it? And they're like, sure, of course. And then you've got your super hyper analyticals that they analyzed the entire page before they got there. They went through, they found the site map, and then on the site map it said where the index was, and they went to the index, and they read all the technical data and all the stuff, and then they're like, you guys are all dumb. you guys all just rush through all this stuff, and if you just slow down a little bit and pay attention to what's going on, you'd be able to figure this out. So I don't want to keep everybody super too long tonight. I'd like to open up the call just a little bit for just maybe a couple of questions, because group participation is really good on here. I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I don't know how many people we have on here. We might have 500 or 600. I don't know. Brandon or Mike or one of those guys. Maybe you guys could ask me a couple of questions since we're in the mod mode, and then I'll just answer it out for the field. How about that? Or Jeremy. Jeremy, you're in here too. Where are you at?
Hey, Will, can you hear me?
Yay, there's Jeremy. Hey, everybody. You know, before Jeremy says anything, I want everybody to applaud this guy, because a year ago he was in construction and he was working his tail off, and now he's no longer a baby in the world of networking, and he brings an amazing perspective to all of our businesses because he doesn't have 20 years of network marketing experience. He doesn't have all the bad habits. He just asks really good questions that the average person that we're going to go talk to talks. So thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for being on our call.
Sure, no problem. So you guys, Will, thank you so much for an excellent presentation. I've had the privilege of going through the cards with Will on a couple of occasions, and I've learned a lot, and I hope you guys did as well. At this point, I would like to kind of slow it down. You guys, a little bit of a pause. I'm going to let you ask the questions because my questions are going to be more generic. Yours are going to be more authentic. So if anybody would like to unmute themselves, please pause before you do it. Anybody would like to unmute themselves, please press *6. Wait a second, make sure nobody talks over each other, and go ahead and ask Will a question. So go ahead and do so now, please. *6. Nobody?
Nobody wants to ask any questions.
No questions. No questions.
Hello.
Everybody.
There's a question.
Hey,
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. State your name. Go ahead and ask a question.
Hi, my name is Shane West, and I'm from Chicago.
Hey,
I've
Shane
been talking.
West. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I've been talking to some guys that's already been involved in blockchain, and I'm kind of new to the space. What's some good things that I can talk to them about?
Okay, Shane, go ahead and mute, and then mute yourself back again, and I'll answer that question for you. So this is really good. This is where the seasoned networkers in our group are going to tell them, well, that's easy, Shane. You want to get your sponsor on the phone and set up a three-way phone call. So we're going to have some training to teach everybody how do we set up a three-way phone call with my sponsor. So somebody brought you into the business, Shane, and they said something to you that struck you of your interest, correct? So with that being said, if these are the people that you know, if these, most of the time we go to the first 3 to 5 people that we know, and we regurgitate a whole bunch of stuff all over them, and either it sticks or it doesn't stick. And they either walk away going, yay, that was wonderful, or they walk away being really excited. And the good news is we typically hang out with people that we're very close to, very similar to in the characteristics that get us through our day-to-day life. So, Shane, what I would recommend to you is if these people are already in the crypto space, they might know more than you already, which is possible, and you just had a really good opportunity presented to you by someone that's pretty excited and made sense to you. So what I would suggest you do is you say this to your friends. Hey, guys, I really think that what I've got going on here with KryptoGeneX, I think this could be a really good opportunity for us, but because I'm new, I don't really know what to say, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So if we could set up a time where I could get my sponsor, Jeremy Keene, online, I can assure you that what Jeremy will be able to do is answer your questions, because I know you're going to have more than I can answer, and I just don't want to make a mistake or misrepresent something. So if you don't mind, when's a good time to do that? So that's how you want to present that. And who's next? Let's do a couple more questions here, and then we'll get done at 7 o'clock.
I got a question.
State your name.
Go ahead.
I have a question on Ben. Cousin Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, buddy. Hey, so I know everybody wants to ask this question, but anytime I've ever tried to talk to somebody, the first person I have to convince is the spouse. So can you go over that, please?
Well, I got to be honest with you guys. A year ago, I was talking to my spouse, and I said, "Hey, I want to buy this thing called the Bitcoin." And my spouse says, "You're not spending the money that we have in our checking account for something like that. You figure out where to get it, and you can be as successful as you want." Well, here's the deal, guys, and men and women. My spouse she's dot to dot, structure, process, sequence, order. Until you understand what your spouse is, structure, process, sequence, order, you're in trouble. Is your spouse nurturing? Is your spouse the hyper analytical, understand all the facts? So before you
Hey, Will, are you still there? Can anyone else hear me? Please unmute yourself if you can hear me.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, looks like we may have lost Will, guys. Give me 1 second and see if it's a cell phone issue, or give me 1 second.
Yeah, he's hooking his charger up.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Yeah, Will's so red. He's been talking on the phone all day and hasn't had a chance to connect the dots, which is the charger to the wall. So I can kind of touch on that and just give you my experience, and we're gonna kind of wrap this up. You guys feel free to. Is that Will? Okay, just kidding. So let me give you a little bit of experience for myself, and I think where Will was going with this is when you're talking to your spouse, because I know a year ago when I got involved in cryptocurrency, I told my wife I was going to buy this thing called a Bitcoin, and she really didn't know what the heck it was I was talking about. But what I told her is my goal was to join a company, spend $250 out of my own pocket, because at that time Bitcoin was $1,000, and that my goal was to at least make $300 a month off of this original investment of $250. So what I did is I basically spun it around on her. Is that you, Will? What I did was I basically spun it around on her, and I said, I'm going to take this $250 and I'm going to turn it into $300 a month. It might take me a couple of months to do so. So what Will was kind of getting at is you have to kind of go, you guys know, guys and girls or whatever, you know your wives or your husbands better than we would on how to suggest that we're going to thinking about doing something. So your best bet is to really take previous experiences. Did you go out and buy those fancy mufflers for a pickup truck, and how did she react? Or did you go out and be more conservative and be like, hey, babe, look how much money I saved. I cut out a coupon and I saved $50. So that's kind of the way I would play it. I don't know if that makes any sense. You really got to read your spouse, read the person that you're talking to, with the greens, the yellows, the reds, and the blues. You really want to dissect that person. Are they somebody that is very detailed when they tell a story? Do they tell you the beginning, the middle, the end, or do they get right to the end? And so with that being said, I guess we lost Will. Thank you guys all very, very much. This has been recorded. Yep.
I'm sorry. How you doing? This is Mafus from Maryland. I have one more question.
Hey, Mafus. How you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing great. I've been taking notes on everything. Have everything jotted down. I just do have a question about certain referrals. I think the problem that I'm trying to accommodate here is, you're talking to certain people, and I get, trying to talk them into the education and if they ever heard about crypto. It's just that some people I'm talking to, they don't kind of have the money. They have a lot of people living in the house, and they're trying to at least cover their bills, you know what I mean? And it's just that, how do you play around that? How do you have a game plan to answer that, sort of questions like that?
Well, this is just, again, I'm going to give you my experience, okay, because I've come across situations where it's very similar.
Well, based on experience.
My advice to something like that is, especially if they're going to get the education, first and foremost, Because what CryptoGeneX is, first and foremost, is education in the cryptocurrency space.
Absolutely.
Have them split the cost. Put it in one person's name. 3 of you dive in. Make some referrals, make that fast start bonus, $100, and then reinvest and open up your own individual accounts. Take a husband and wife and pair it with their best friend's husband and wife, and they split the $250, get involved, and it's $125 a piece. I would definitely recommend that somebody that you have a great relationship with, not somebody who, you obviously don't want to partner up with somebody who you feel like you're not 100% comfortable with. That can create problems down the road. But that's why we started with CryptoGeneX at, $250 as a customer and $300 as an affiliate, is that the vast majority of people can at least get educated from that point. 3 referrals gets you your $300 back.
Right.
So, from that point, the other couple can start their own, basically their own account and kind of go on their merry way. The fact that you can split it 150 a person or 75 times 4 or however you want to work it, when there's a will, there's a way. And I know there's a guy on the line right now, and his name's Brad Thiede. Okay. And I call him, we have a nickname for Brad, and his nickname is Plasma Brad. Well, Plasma Brad went out and donated his blood and sent me $50 a week via PayPal. And I sent him $50 a week in Bitcoin, and he saved up. When there's a will, there's a way. So you got to really find out where their why is. So, there's always a way to find $300. If somebody really wants it, they'll find it. So.
Right. I do have great relationships with a lot of people, and I'm getting the word out, about it being 100% SEC compliant and have a great legal team working behind it. And I do. I have a neighbor that I've been doing for a few years now, and they do have jobs. It's just I understand from you to. I'm sorry, it might be a silly question, but I just that seems to be the only. No,
that's right. Yeah, feel free. Yeah, feel free to send me a private message, Mahfouz. I'd love to help you a little bit more and kind of dissect. Every individual is going to come up with it, and that's the thing, guys. Every individual is going to come up with a million excuses, and it's whether it's they're valid excuses or they're invalid excuses. At the time when I got my first quarter of a Bitcoin. $250 was a lot of money, for a family of 4, house payments and, paying rent and utilities and everything else, groceries. There's 2 teenagers. It's expensive to live in this world. So what we're doing is we're offering a way out of that. So, Mahfouz, go ahead and mute yourself out. You guys, thank you so very much. I'm sorry we lost Will. This has been recorded. Feel free to send me a private message, Will a private message, go to your sponsor, and we're super excited to bring CryptoGeneX to the world, and thank you guys so very much for being a part of this. We'll definitely be doing more in the future, and with that being said, God bless. Thanks, guys. Good night.
CryptoGeneX.